Ottomans, yeah, like I said just now, Burken in Hungary, also at war here with Aragon. That could actually be a very interesting war, because it's 35,000 troops here on the Venetian side, whereas Aragon has... hold on, that is also about 40,000 troops, so we'll have to see how that all pans out, but there's a lot of potential going on here. The thing is that Venice cannot really leave the island. Ooh, we have some yeah, this... Ooh, that would have been dangerous, because this crossing would really not help with the dice rolls when it comes to using these armies. Quickly looking over what these armies have. The leader's a 2-3-3, so that's fairly decent, whereas this is a 1-1-1. In theory, that 2-3-3 could actually negate the crossing right here. Oh, there we go. Moving in, and we've got ourselves a bit of a battle. A little bit of a negative modifier here for the Aragonians, but they're not going to have any trouble whatsoever as they're crushing the Venetians on their home turf. A couple of decent dice rolls being thrown out here. It's not going to be enough because the dice rolls are a little bit stronger. And also the military, yeah, and that's the entire Venetian army completely annihilated there. They couldn't go anywhere. And that will pretty much solidify Aragonian power here, as the Venetian army only has 32,000 troops remaining, whereas the Aragonians, on the other hand, well, they are still sitting, well, at around 40k. Grugi pretending that he wants to defend Ferreira. Does he actually have that as his friend? Well, he is at war with all of these nations, but he has a lot of manpower to take away. So we'll have to see how that goes. Let's see. Savoy has entered the war as well. A little bit more fighting power there as well. Another 40k joining in the battle, and they still need to set up. They still need to set these up. They're going to need to be very, very careful. Ferreira's here, and this right here, this sort of small engagement and small skirmishes really solidify the gameplay and pretty much set things up. Like the pawns are moving across the field. And that's something you want to keep your eye on, because this is where old grudges are starting to form right here. Aragon is at a massive disadvantage. Or at least, no, my apologies. Venice is, Aragon is actually winning by 23%. The Venetians are not looking good, but Savoy need to jump in. They only have 10,000 troops there. A couple of ships, but not enough to actually blockade anything. Naples has a significant fleet presence already, but I don't see them doing it anytime soon, really. The Venetians, that is, which is kind of interesting, because at the start of the game, well, at least around the time that the Dutch Republic started up and they started to find their way around the world, the Venetian Republic was already massively in decline, which wasn't very helpful for them. Obviously, my apologies. And could we see history repeat itself here? Of course, when it comes to overall history, nothing is what it is, because Sweden is a lot bigger than it was historically. Although, I don't know. How far did Sweden really go? Well, they had a lot of big chunks of territory here, obviously, but when it comes to this, it doesn't look like Venice is going to last for very long. And I would also not be surprised if Grugi is going to say, you know what, Venice? Not only do you owe me a ton of money, which you do not have, not only do you have a bunch of alliances you need to go and give up, I'm also going to force you to let go of all these small nations and take over some of your territory. Would not be surprised if that is the case. Morocco consists now of one small nation, though. Portugal is slowly but steadily integrating. Quickly looking over, yeah, he's using all that administrative power to slowly but steadily integrate all of these territories. I'm really wondering how much did that actually cost. Well, it's actually not that bad. 60, 110, 60, it's not too shabby. It's probably more the Castilian ones that are expensive. Yeah, there we go. 244, 280, 224. Castilians have no, really can't do anything with that. And the real question is, when can they start doing colonization? Are they in range of anything yet? No, it doesn't appear that they are so far. The world is in turmoil. As the War of Honor. Interesting. But Aragon is here, and Aragon is strong. It's Lithuania taking the final vestige of Novgorod, leaving Muscovy at a bit of in a bit of a pickle, because he's gonna have a difficult time trying to form Novgorod, which he does not own. So not being able to form Moscow, or at least Russia, is going to be problematic. So he will need to be able to take Novgorod. He could probably stay as Muscovy until the late game, which would be interesting because you don't have the giant green blob back there instead of this beige blob instead. But having Lithuania here, as well as Sweden, is really a thorn in Muscovy's side because he won't be able to do anything with that. Meanwhile, Aragonians looking to crush the Venetians even more. Actually, let's take a look here with administrative ideas. Well, not all that interesting. Technology-wise, level 5 technology could potentially boost it up to level 6. What do the Venetians have? The Venetians are administrative. They've actually got a bit better military technology, trade ideas, and plutocratic ideas, which is fairly standard here for Republic. As now the bishops are now moving across, as the Mamelukes have taken Tunis, and Aragon looks over towards Carthage and thinks this is going to be a problem there, Mamelukes. We're going to have to need to crush you. Are they actually looking to integrate Naples right now? Doesn't look like they're looking to integrate them at all. They are, well, are they in a personal union? I think they are. Yes, a lesser partner in the union. And they won't be able to integrate them so at the moment. So let's take a look. Naples, actually I need to, there we go. Yeah, the interface is not always great. So yeah, it doesn't look like integration is an option yet. The war is slowly coming to an end. Aragon only has 190 manpower remaining, whereas the treasury of the Venetians is incredibly low, but still have 10,000 manpower remaining, but with very high war exhaustion. Could potentially spend that administrative power to lower that and make sure that those effects don't kick in. Has +1 stability, but has a bunch of base revolts potentially going on here with about 12 of that. Poor Venice. Poor Venice. I think the war... Did the war just end? No, it's still there. Castile, in the meantime, at war with Algiers. The final war down here. It's probably... Is that a Portuguese war? No, it's a Castilian war. And the world is still not being discovered. No. England, in the meantime. What is England going to do about a situation? They need allies. They're allied with Burgundy, which was to be expected. A little bit late, though. And actually also with Flanders. And actually, Burgundy is guaranteeing the independence of Flanders. Interesting. Are they a vassal by any chance? Let's take a look. Flanders, are you a vassal of anything? We shall have to see, we'll have to see about that. Not much going on right now. You know what? Let's go and have a look over at Rufo in Japan. Yep, still playing single player. Back to Sweden we go. We've kind of hit a lull now in the game, as not much is going on. We have about an hour of gameplay remaining here from the studio, and we're kind of looking forward to what we can expect from our nations. It looks like Scotland has taken over a big chunk of Ireland, actually. Managed to get in there. And no mission so far. Protect against Muscovy, but they'll need a fairly big army. And the real question is, can they maintain that? No, not really. They need about 14,000 troops more for that. Maybe become allied with Nogai. Doubt that's going to happen. And claim a province, Beluzero. Sweden 2.0, Electric Beluzero. Nah, that's silly. Nobody's going to get that reference. Venice. And Castile can just claim this, even though Portugal has taken the territory. Algiers will cede Oran to Castile, which is pretty much what they were after. Maybe Portugal take this particular area down here. And it looks like Portugal is shaping up to be a continental power here in Africa, possibly with Castile jumping across the what looks like the Atlantic, but is really not. So I'm quickly looking over to my encoder. Yeah, that's running at a nice 50%. Let's take a look. Brandenburg, played by Doomdark, our team leader for Crusader Kings, has been very, very calm so far. Not much going on there. Pretty much just chilling. You know, everybody's settling in their wars. Take a look at the alliances. Brandenburg, together with Poland and Bohemia. So we have the project lead of CK2, the project lead of EU4, and the head of the studio. They're all allied. Of course they are. Then we have the AI director, who is allied with pretty much the same people, bar Brandenburg, but they've got 9 out of 9 diplomatic relations because they're the emperor. Then we got Bavaria, who is just being Bavaria. And there are already some alliances shaping up on the map. A few small coalitions, so to speak. So I'm quickly going to see if there is any coalitions on the map themselves. No, there's really no player coalitions right now. And one thing that you may want to keep in the back of your head is that, and actually maybe we should have a map mode, which is a modification of the coalition map mode for observers, so you can see exactly who is in which coalition depending on the color, like alliances, like a Danton or something along those lines, which of course is a little bit more dipping in Victoria area, but you know, it may for multiplayer purposes, it may actually be very interesting to do, and we have talked about adding more features to the multiplayer itself to make things a little bit more fluid, to say the least. No real wars going on right now. We still have Castile having this war here with Algiers, and it's not really a war, it's more of a elimination, to be fair. But yeah. And somebody was actually asking, what is that rival of our rival mission that was possible? Well, Sweden had the option to go for the rival of our rival. So basically what you can do is you can become an ally of another nation who is a rival with your rival, which in this case is Muscovy. So Sweden has the rival of Muscovy, therefore they could potentially ally to Nogai, which is down here, and become pretty much, you know, allied to the other rival. So basically, it's basically a modification on the enemy of my enemy is my friend, pretty much. So becoming allies is important there. Take a look here at the ledger and see what the world is looking like right now.